So this is your second shoulder class. For this class you just need a strap, and preferably one that doesn't have a dog attached to it. So just a strap for this one, and then we're going to start standing. So all I want you to do first is just to move your arms around everywhere. Just kind of get them moving everywhere. Just, you can go forwards and back and out to the sides. Get your arms overhead. So we don't do enough with our arms overhead, so get your arms up and really stretching. Maybe do one at a time, maybe both together. So any time when you just kind of start to feel a bit tense through your neck and your shoulders, whether you've been sat on the computer or on your phone, or you've been driving, or just kind of slumping doing nothing, even just taking time to just get up and stretch and move your arms around everywhere is really, really beneficial. Okay, so let's swing our arms forwards and backwards now. So just swing your arms forwards and backwards. And then just noticing for yourself where your arms go. So do they go straight forwards and straight back, or are they tending to kind of come and cross in front? So just have a little look and just notice your own arm swing. Because we have, you know how you can kind of tell sometimes who people are by the way that they walk. We kind of have a distinctive gait pattern, a walk pattern. You can sometimes tell by the way they swing their arms as well. And I love stuff like that, I find it really interesting. So we're just trying to get our arms going forwards and backwards, getting our shoulders moving. And then let's cross the arms in front. So crossing your arms in front. Not that I'm suggesting that you would walk like this, but just to get your shoulders moving. All right, and then let it go. Let's do some shoulder circles now. So shoulder circles. And notice as you're circling your shoulders around, whether your elbows are wanting to lift. Can you keep your elbows down and just circle your shoulders? Go the other way. Because if we don't have much mobility through our shoulders, if we're really tight through the shoulders, then we'll try and use the elbows to do the work. So that's quite interesting. So watching for your elbows, trying to compensate for your shoulders. Okay, how about if we take our shoulders forwards and back? Forwards and back. Get them as far forwards as you can, stretching through your upper back, and as far back as you can, stretching through your chest. Check your elbows again here. Are your elbows wanting to come out? Can you keep your elbows down? Good. How about if we do shoulders up to your ears and then pulling them down away from your ears? So again, really bringing them up as high as you can and as low as you can. Check those elbows. Are the elbows coming out? Can you keep the elbows down? This time as you pull your shoulders down, I'm going to keep pulling the shoulders down and tip your head to one side, dropping your ear down towards your shoulder. As your head comes back up through centre, lift the shoulders again. Pull the shoulders down and tip your head to the opposite side. As head comes through centre, lift your shoulders again. Lower your shoulders down, tip your head back to that first side. And head comes through centre, lift the shoulders, lower the shoulders and tip your head again. Good job. And then bring your head back through centre. So we're going to go, let's do a hug. So one arm on top of the other, reach your arms around. See if you can just get your fingers on the inside edge of your shoulder blade. And then can you lift your elbows a little higher here? Can you lift just the elbows? So you're trying to keep the shoulders down, but lifting your elbows. Big stretch. Trying to keep those elbows lifted. And then make sure you know which arm's on top because we need to do the other side. Just let your arms swing. And we're going to do the same on the other side, so other arm on top this time. Again, hug. See if you can just get hold of that inside edge of your shoulder blade, or can you just find where it is? And then again, can you lift your elbows? Keep lifting the elbows, take some deep breaths and just hold here. again, let it go. Just let your arms swing. All right, so we're going to do our shoulder circles again, but I want you to make them really super, super slow, so really exaggerated. So really pulling them up to your ears as high as you can, elbows stay down. You're going to pull them back as far as you can. You're going to pull them down as far as you can and take them forwards as far as you can. So kind of just move nice and slow, but really exaggerate that circle so that you're really stretching all of the tissues around your shoulders. And it feels really nice to just kind of get in there and move, because sometimes when you just do them quickly, you're not really getting into all of the little nooks and crannies that we want to reach. And then can you reverse that and go the other way? Kind of feels nice around your upper back and shoulders, I think. Okay, so we're going to grab our strap now. So grab your strap. We're going to have the strap in front. And we're going to hold quite narrow, so quite a narrow grip. And have your palms facing down. And we're going to lift that strap up in front. And let's have a teeny bend of the elbows. And I want you to be pulling that strap apart, but kind of pulling your elbows in towards each other. So you're not really moving very much, but you're pulling the strap apart with your hands and kind of pulling the elbows in towards each other. And just holding there. Pulling the elbows in. Notice if you're creating a lot of tension in your neck, can you keep those shoulders down as you pull the strap apart and pull the elbows in? Just keep breathing normally. Keep your weight back through your heels as we try to do all of the time. All right, and then just let that go. Give your shoulders a little move around. We're going to turn the hands over this time, so the palms are going to face up. We're going to do exactly the same thing here. So holding your strap, you're going to pull the strap apart and pull the elbows in towards each other. And again, just holding here for a few breaths. Pulling the strap apart with your hands, pulling the elbows in towards each other, making sure that your shoulders are down away from your ears. Anybody else starting to get a bit warm? Starting to get a bit warm. All right, and then let that go. Again, just give your shoulders a little circle, a little wriggle around. Maybe gently turn your head from side to side. So if ever when you're doing any of these movements you start to feel that that tension's creeping up, just let it go and just have a little wriggle and then just kind of join us again. So take the strap behind this time. And we're going to have the palms facing forwards. So we're going to pull that strap apart behind, and can you pull your shoulder blades together in your back? So keep pulling the strap apart, shoulder blades together. And I like to think about getting the bottom of the shoulder blades together first, then working on the middle, and then working on the top. So it's really difficult to get the top of those shoulder blades close. So working on that, keep pulling that strap apart, keep pulling those shoulder blades ever closer towards each other. And then just relax that for a minute, give everything a little shake, still keep hold of your strap. We're going to keep holding it in the same way. So we're going to do that again, and we're going to add a little forward fold this time. So I'll kind of turn sideways. So we're going to pull the strap apart. Let's have a little tiny bend of the elbows. So let's have a little tiny softening of the elbows. We're going to lift the arms a little bit, and then we're going to fold forwards. Okay, so still pulling your strap apart, keeping that soft bend in the elbows, pulling the elbows close towards each other, and hold here. Now if you want to, you can allow your spine to round forwards and take your arms towards the ceiling. If that's too much for you to round forward, you can keep that flat back. Or you can just keep standing if you prefer. Keep pulling that strap apart, keep pulling the elbows in towards each other, stretching your arms up towards the ceiling. Couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're going to come all the way back up. Let go of your strap for a minute with one hand, just so you can move your arms around. Again, turning your head side to side, just letting go of any tension there. We're going to do that again. This time we're going to add a little knee bend to it. So again, you can just have that flat back, or you can round your spine all the way over. But let's add a little bit of a bent knee to it, and we're just going to hang out there for some breaths. So if you need to come up sooner, then do, it's fine. So again, palms face forwards. And we're going to lift the arms, pulling that strap apart, slight bend in the elbow. So forward fold first, you've got that flat back. You can stay here if you want. Can you lift your arms higher here?
And then if you want to, you can round your spine all the way down if that feels good to you. Then let's bend the knees. So keeping your weight back through your heels, we've got that bent knee, and you're reaching your arms up towards the ceiling. Still keep pulling that strap apart. Can you pull your shoulder blades in towards each other? Much easier now. Can you squeeze your shoulder blades together? Couple more breaths here. And then when you're ready, slowly come up and out of that. And again, just shaking off any tension, any tightness. We're going to take the strap in front now. This time your palms are going to face back, so palms are facing behind you. Take your arms a little bit wider than your hips this time. And we're going to take the strap overhead. You take it back as far as you can. Keep pulling that strap apart, so we're still working through the shoulders, but take that strap as far back as you can, just holding there, making sure that the ribs are down, so you don't want to be arching your back and lifting your ribs here. Can you keep your body still, but just take your arms to one side? Hold there. Anybody else's arms starting to tremor? Let's go to the other side. Shoulders are feeling this morning. Again, go back to the side. Notice if your shoulder blades on your back have come up, and if your shoulders are around your ears, can you let your shoulders drop away from your ears as you take your arms over? And to the other side. Come back through centre and lower your arms down. So we're going to do our little forward bend again. What I want you to focus on this time is, and it's really hard because you can't really see, but when you get your arms pointing up towards the ceiling or as high as you can, pay attention to the position of your wrists. So are your wrists bent? Can you try and get your wrists straight so that your hand is just an extension of your arm and everything is in one straight line? So strap goes behind again, palms facing forwards. We're pulling that strap apart, slight bend in the elbow, and let's lift the arms as we forward fold. Again, feel free to stay here and lift the arms, or you can add that rounding down towards your mat. Now think about your wrists, and you can't see them, and if you're not sure, just kind of play around and see when you feel like they're really bent, can you find that straight position? And if you're not sure, don't worry too much about it, but keep pulling that strap apart, keep pulling the elbows in towards each other, pulling your shoulder blades in towards each other. Couple of breaths. You can bend your knees here if it's more comfortable for your hamstrings, if you're a little bit tight through the back of your leg. Keep pulling that strap, pulling your shoulder blades in. And when you're ready, let's come on up. And out of that. Again, just give your shoulders a little circle around, turn your head side to side. Okay, we're going to bring the strap in front again. Front, back, front, back. Palms face behind. We're going to take the strap up. Stretch, drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Alright, just stretch, take it back as far as you can. Make sure the ribs stay down. Bring the strap forwards and down. Let's make the grip a little bit more narrow this time. So can you take it more narrow? And you can kind of play with this. So the more narrow it is, the harder it is for your shoulders. So take it up with that narrow grip. Can you get it up without your ribs having to lift? And if your ribs want to lift, then just come as high as you can maintain. So maybe that's here for you, and that's fine. It's much better to be here and in good alignment than here and arching your back, yeah? Can you do a little bit of side to side wherever you are? Notice if those shoulder blades again are up and shoulders around your ears. Can you try and keep the shoulders down as we go side to side? Alright, and then lower and down. We're going to do one more with the strap behind. So this time, we're thinking about the straight wrists. I also want you to notice where your shoulders are, because when you're upside down, it's really easy for your shoulders then to drop around your ears. So we're going to think about pulling the shoulders away from the ears. So last time for the forward fold. Again, you can do this standing if you don't want to go forwards. Pulling that strap apart, palms facing forwards. Alright, we're going to hinge forwards at the hip. We're going to lift the arms. And you can round forwards if you want to, taking your arms towards the ceiling. So let's check in. Straight wrist, Slight bend of the elbow, pulling the elbows in towards each other. Can you pull your shoulder blades in towards each other? Now, where are your actual shoulders? Are they really around your ears? Can you pull your shoulders away from your ears, giving yourself a bit of a neck again, if you've lost your neck, and hold here. Couple of breaths. You can add that bent knee if you prefer. Keep pulling the strap apart. Soft elbows. Nice. And when you're ready, come up and out of that. Again, just loosen everything off. Shoulders, head. That feels good. I like it. Feels good. Okay. We're going to do that narrow grip again. So palms are going to face back. Narrow grip, or as narrow as you can cope with. You need to be where you need to be. We're going to take the strap up and overhead again. But what I want you to notice is as you get your strap overhead, are you poking your head forwards? Can you ramp your head up? Can you get your head in line with your shoulders? So your head shouldn't be forwards, it should be directly over your shoulders. So we've got head over ribs, over pelvis. Stretching up towards the ceiling. Oh, so good. Keeping that head ramped. And you go to the side and to the side. Taking that strap as far back as you can. Watch now, so as you take that strap back, head will want to poke forward. Try and keep your head up. And then bring the strap all the way down. Okay, pop your strap down. Interlace your hands behind your back now. So hands interlaced, just resting down. I want you to pull your thumbs away from your fingers. So your fingers are interlaced, but you're really stretching your thumbs away. So you've got your thumbs stretching away. Can you pull your shoulder blades in? So again, think about getting the bottom of the shoulder blade in, the middle of the shoulder blade, and the top of the shoulder blade. Can you lift those arms behind you? Keeping those shoulder blades together. If you want to, you can add a little forward fold here just with the hands, but you don't have to. You can stay standing. I kind of like that though, it kind of feels good. Getting a little bit of blood to the head. Wake you up. You can add a knee bend if you want to. You can just kind of play around with this. Keep pulling your fingers. It's like you're trying to pull your fingers apart, but you're stretching your thumbs away. And when you're ready, slowly come up and out of that. Bring your hands apart, give your hands a shake. Give your fingers a wriggle. Let's do our shoulder rolls again. So really slow and controlled. Again, making sure that you're moving all of the parts and not just doing a quick shh and not really getting in there. So making sure you're really getting in there. Elbows are going to stay down. We're not leading with our elbows. And then let's go the other way. Really getting in there. Feel that stretch as you move around. Good, okay. We're going to come down and do a little bit of seated work now. So come on down to seated. Okay, so we're going to take one arm out to the side. And we're going to roll the arm in and out. So take it as far forwards as you can, really rolling it forwards. And then take it as far back as you can. So just nice and slow again, nice and controlled. You don't want to go super fast and kind of just skim over the movement. You really want to be feeling everything there. So as far forwards as you can and as far back as you can. Alright, let's do the same on the other side. So reach the arm away and again you're just going as far forwards and as far back as you can. Is it different on this side? So just notice whether you don't have as much range on one side. Is it clunking? Is it feeling horrible? Just notice what's going on in your own body. And we're just trying to get as much movement here as we can. And if it does feel painful, then don't go as far, just make it a smaller movement. Should never feel pain. I mean, aching is okay, but anything that feels sharp is your body's way of saying something's not right here, so never push past pain. Just kind of that stretching feeling is okay. Let's go back to the first side. So
take your hand out, and this time I want you to flex at the wrist, so like you're pushing your palm away from you, like you're saying stop, and spread your fingers as wide as you can. So our elbow pit is kind of pointing up, and let's have a little slight bend in the elbow here. So in this position, you're kind of a little bit turned out, your arm is kind of a little bit turned out. Push your palm away from you, and you pull your fingers back towards you though. So this is a little bit of a nerve stretch. It might feel a little bit tingly, but again, if anything feels really not right for you, come out of it. And you can have your hand just down, just reach your arm away, but I kind of like this. Pushing the palm away, pulling the fingers back towards you. All right, let that go. Little circle. Same on the other side, so again, you're doing that stop. Spread your fingers wide. Little soft elbow, so you're not completely locked out with that arm. Can you push the palm away and pull the fingers towards you? Good. All right. Let it go. A little circle around. If you need to change up your seating position, switch. We're going to do both arms together with that little stretch now. Now if it's too much with both of them, you can just do a little bit on each side, but let's take both arms out. Slight bend in the elbow. Spread fingers. Push the palms away, pull the fingers back towards you. And then notice here, are your shoulders up around your ears? Can you lower your shoulders down away from your ears as you push your palms away? Let it go. Let's just do some little flappy hands, just kind of shake them. Again, just move your shoulders around a little bit, turning your head from side to side. Okay, so let's take one arm behind our back. So this is a move that we do quite often. So we've got one arm behind our back. And I want you to use your free hand to go over your shoulder to find your shoulder blade on your back and notice if it's poking out. So can you try and get that shoulder blade as flat as possible? So that might mean that you need to bring this shoulder forwards. So just kind of have a play around with that. Find your shoulder blade and see whether it's winging. See whether there's a bit of it sticking out. And what do you need to do to get that flat? And then once you've got it flat, you're just going to hold it there. So when that shoulder blade is flat on your back, that's its kind of stable position. Now that might mean that this shoulder's quite far forwards, and that's just a reflection of how your body is right now. So it's kind of no good just pulling your shoulders back and standing up straight if your shoulder blade is winging on your back. So really we should work from there, and then we kind of address this tightness and roundness through the front of the shoulder. Let's do that on the other side. So just gently let go of that and just give your arm a little turn in and out just to release your shoulder. Let's do the same on the other side. So hand's going to go back. And then again, use your free hand wherever you need to go to get to your shoulder blade. Is it the same on this side? It might be different on this side. Can you feel any bits poking out? And if you can't reach your shoulder blade, it might be useful to have somebody there to go, yeah, what's happening here? And get them to have a look for you. Where do you need to be to get it flat? And then again, we're just going to hold it here. Good. So this is about getting our shoulders in alignment to then add some release. So the arm around the back and coming across is adding the stretch and the release to the shoulder, and we're trying to get it into a really good position first. We're going to go back to the first side, so just kind of give that a little shake out. Same thing, so arm's going to go back. How about this time you start to sneak that lower arm up your back as well? And then take your arm overhead, find that flat shoulder blade. Now it might have to come even more forwards here. Can you get it flat? If you're happy, you've got it flat and your arm's in that position. How about if you flip your palm, what happens then? If you can flip your palm. Yeah, I know, kind of really gets in there. So you can kind of see with me, I've had to bring my shoulder really quite far forwards to get in the right spot there. But again, we're just going to hold it here. Take some breaths. Kind of feels weird when you allow your shoulder to come forwards, I know. It just doesn't feel right. You have that mum voice in your head going, stand up tall, shoulders back. All right, let it go. Oh, moving slowly. Again, maybe just turn it in and out. Whatever you need to do just to loosen it up. Maybe turn your head. Okay. Let's do the same on the other side. So hands going to go back. We're going to get that nice flat shoulder blade. We're going to sneak our arm up our back. Make sure that shoulder blade's still flat. And then see what happens if you flip your palm. And as with all of the exercises, if flipping your palms too much, don't do it. If sneaking your arm up your back is too much, don't do it. You just have to work with where your body is right now. And again, just take some deep breaths. All right, let it go. Just moving that arm in and out. Okay, excuse me. So we're going to take one arm forwards this time. Holding onto your cup of water, we're going to do that external rotation, so turning your arm out like you're tipping your water out and taking your arm out to the side. Remember, we want a little soft bend in the elbow, we don't want that arm locked out, so a soft bend in the elbow, still tipping that water out, so we're turning that arm out as far as we can. And then we're going to lead with the elbow, so think about taking your elbow as far away from your shoulder as you can. And we're going to tip the head to the opposite side. So really opening out now the chest and the shoulders as you reach that elbow away. Make sure that the elbow stays slightly bent. And it's creating like a traction, it's creating more of a stretch through here as you reach, and your head is reaching the other way. So you might feel it all the way up into your jaw, your neck, your chest, your shoulders, your upper arm. Depending on how much tension and how much tightness you have, you might feel it more than somebody else, or you might not feel very much at all. Bring your head back up through centre and just release that arm. We're going to do the same on the other side, so arm goes out to the side. We've not done it from the front, okay, sorry, from the front. Hold your cup of water and tip it out, and then take your arm out to the side. Really turning the arm out, keeping that soft bend in the elbow, and then reaching that elbow away. Tip your head to the other side. Keep reaching your elbow away. Turning the arm out as much as you can. Notice how it feels. Is it different on this side to the other side? Alright, bring your head up, bring your arm in. We're going to do both arms together this time. Reach both arms forwards, externally rotate, tip your water out, take both arms out to the side. Slight bend in the elbow and reaching your elbows away. Let's head hang this time, so drop your chin towards your chest, creating length through the back of your neck. Keep reaching the elbows away. Notice if your shoulders are trying to sneak up around your ears, try and keep your shoulders down. And when you're ready, slowly bring your head back up, bring your arms in, and let's just again move them around, move your head around, whatever you need to do. Excuse me. So we're going to go on to all fours next. So come on down onto all fours. And we're going to spread our fingers as wide as we can. Point your thumbs towards each other, and then let's have those elbow pits pointing forwards. We're going to go into rhomboid push-ups here. So you're going to let your shoulder blades come together in your back, squeezing your shoulder blades together, holding at the bottom here, really squeezing those shoulder blades together, and then press your shoulder blades wide. Get them as wide as you can. Holding here, pressing into the mat, pressing, spreading those shoulder blades wide. And then let's start to go between those 2 points, so squeezing together and pressing wide. So the movement is just around your shoulders, so you shouldn't have anything kind of happening with the rest of your spine or your pelvis. It's not like that cat-cow. This is just the shoulders. Have a look at your hands. Notice whether your fingers are starting to buckle and bend away from the mat. Are they starting to close up? Can you keep those fingers spread wide? How about your thumbs? Are they pointing the same way as your fingers now? Can you try and get your thumbs to point towards each other? And then where are your elbow pits? Have your elbows turned to look at each other? Can you get those elbow pits pointing forwards? All right, and then just coming off your hands for a moment. Give your hands a little shake. Let's do our reverse prayer hands. So bring the backs of your hands together. Pull the thumbs away from the fingers and start to lower your hands down. Getting a good stretch through the hands, the wrists, the forearms. Pull the thumbs as far away from your fingers as you can. And then just let that go. Give your hands a little wriggle. We're going to go back to our rhomboid push-ups again, and we're going to add the head hang this time. So we're going to really drop our head down towards the mat, finding length through the back of the neck, using the weight of the head. So again, fingers spread wide, thumbs point towards each other and elbow pits forwards. Once you're happy with that position, let your head hang. So crown of the head drops down towards the mat. And then again, let's do our little rhomboid push-ups here. Now, notice whether your shoulders are up around your ears. So have you kind of lost your neck? Have you gone into like a little bit of a tortoise? Can you find length through the neck? Pull your shoulders away from your ears as you do your little rhomboid push-ups here. As you can probably tell, this is one of my favourite exercises. Rhomboid push-up is so good for us. Really helps to strengthen, but also to release tension through the shoulders. Really good for your alignment and kind of your posture, so how things look. So your alignment is kind of how things work, how things function. Your posture is more about how things look, so it really helps with that upper back posture. All right, come on, off your hands again. Give them a little shake. This time you're going to bring your fingertips down onto the floor, so you can kind of have them next to you or in front of you or wherever you can reach your hands to the floor. And I want you to just get your fingertips on the floor and push your palms forwards. So I'm not allowing my fingers to kind of bend. I'm not trying to get my hand flat down. I'm trying to use the floor to pull my fingers back. Yeah. So have a little play with that. You can kind of keep lifting and coming out of it if you need to. Can you reach your thumbs as far away from your fingers as you can? So stretch your thumbs out to the side as you keep pressing your palms forwards. Let's have a soft elbow. So if your elbow isn't bent, give it a little bend. Your elbows are kind of pointing behind you. So again, notice if they're wanting to go out to the side, can you kind of pull your elbows into your sides and have them bent so they're kind of pointing behind you. And then once you're in that maximum stretch position, reaching your thumbs away, we're going to circle the thumbs. And then circle them the other way. I know, it's a weird one, isn't it? Stretch the thumbs away, hold the fingers there. And then release, give them a little wriggle. Give them a shake. Okay, we're going to go back onto all fours again. So
So find your nice stable position here. So fingers spread wide, thumbs towards each other and elbow pits forwards. Now here, I don't want your shoulder blades squeezing together, and I don't want them as wide as they can possibly be. They want to be in a neutral position, which is kind of halfway between the two of those. So see if you can find that point at which you feel like your shoulder blade is nice and flat on your back. And then see if you can maintain that whilst just lifting one hand off the mat. And then place it back down. And then try and lift the other hand. So you're trying to keep your shoulders super still as you lift each hand in turn. It might be different one side to the other, so notice as you lift one hand, does your shoulder blade kind of drop in towards your spine, or can you keep it super still? So as you lift your hand up this time, just hold it up. Hold it up. Try the other side. Hold it up. And if you're happy and you're not collapsing, switch back to your other side again. Now the hand that you're lifting up, you're going to bring it across to your other shoulder. And we're going to do a little rhomboid push up just on one side. Can you bring your shoulder blade in and press it apart? Just on that one side. How about we switch and try the other side? Again, can you do a rhomboid push up on one side? So again, one side will be different, one side will feel much easier than the other. Really helps to strengthen. Alright, and then place your hand down. Go into child's pose now. Sit your bottom back towards your heels and reach your arms forwards. Walk your fingers as far forwards as you can, so you're really stretching your arms forwards. Should feel like a really nice stretch through your upper back and shoulders. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then we're going to come back up onto all fours again. So, fingers wide, thumbs towards each other, elbow pits forwards. Find that nice stable shoulder position, so it's kind of halfway between those 2 points. And then now we're going to lift one leg. And the way that we're going to lift the leg is we're going to kind of just twist your pelvis a little bit to lift your leg off the mat. And then lower it down. And do the same on the other side. So you kind of twist in your pelvis a little bit as you shift. One leg at a time. Because your awareness is obviously on your lower body now, but we're having to hold more weight through our arms, through our shoulders. And then if you're happy with that, we can start to have opposite arm, opposite leg. So we're going back into our Superman here. So as you lift one hand and your shoulder blade doesn't move, you're going to reach one leg out, reach your arm out to the front of your mat, and then reach arm and leg away. As you've reached your arm and leg away, really stretch and notice, have you collapsed in? Can you keep that shoulder blade still as you bring your arm and leg back in? Same on the other side. Reach. Does that shoulder blade stay still? And bring it back in. Keep going. Now if it's too much for you, you can just do the arms or you can just do the legs. Whatever you need to do to keep that shoulder still, because again, it's much more beneficial to have a very small movement but the shoulder blade's still than going too far and the shoulder blade's collapsing, because you're never going to build any strength or any stamina or anything if you're just kind of just not getting into the movement, you're just collapsing into the movement. So let's keep going. Opposite arm, opposite leg, reaching. Again, really good for building up strength and stamina. Do one more on each side. And then you're going to sit back into child's pose again. Bottom back towards your heels, reaching your arms forwards. Again, walk your fingers as far forwards as you can. And then can you just have your fingertips down and lift the palms of your hands, so like little tent hands or spiders. Stretch. stretch it. Walk them as far forwards as you can. And then when you're ready, we're going to come on up. We're going to go into our little forearm stretch now. So we're going to come down onto our elbows. And we're going to have palms facing down. Same distance between your hands as your elbows, so you've not kind of got your elbows flaring out to the sides. And then just slide your arms a little bit further forwards. And you're thinking about pulling your bottom back towards your heels and letting your chest drop down towards the mat. So it's a little bit like a puppy pose if you do yoga, like a little baby downward facing dog. You can let your head rest down on the mat. If you are a rib thruster, make sure that you've not just dropped and collapsed your ribs towards the mat. And then coming up, we're going to bring those arms just in a little bit closer. Turn your hand over so that your palms are facing up this time. And then try and get each of your fingernails and your thumbnail down on both sides. Can you get the back of your wrists down? Back of the hand. Elbow stays down. Stay here. It's quite a lot. We're going to use the other hand now to weight it down. So bring one hand on top of the other so that you can press that hand down, press the wrist down into the mat. Just giving it a little bit of weight to encourage it to release some tension. Don't realise how much tension you have in your hands, wrists, forearms, elbows. Other side, turn the hand over and again pressing it down. Alright, release the hands, sit your bottom back into child's pose again. Reaching your arms forwards. We're going to take the child's pose into a little bit of a side bend this time, so walk your hands to one side. I'm walking my hands to the right, so walk your hands to one side, take them as far as you can. So because my hands have gone to the right, I'm feeling a stretch down my left. If you want to, you can slide your hips kind of into the stretch. So I'm sliding my hips into the stretch to the left, and it's just increasing that stretch a little bit. If you don't like that, you can just keep yourself in centre. Take some deep breaths here. Keep reaching those arms. When you're ready, walk your hands back into centre. We're going to take them to the other side. So walk them to the other side. And again, if you want to, you can slide your hips into the stretch so that you're just giving yourself a little bit more. And when you're ready, walk your hands back into centre. Let your arms kind of circle out to the sides and come down to a rest by your feet. And if you want to, you can lift up your front of your ankles and just place your wrists under your ankles so that you're adding a little bit of weight again onto the backs of those wrists and just allowing them to release into the mat. If that doesn't feel good, you can just have them down by your sides. That's fine too. Just hold here. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly come up and out of that. And we're going to turn over and lie down onto our back this time. So when you're ready, onto your back. Have your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor. Just take a moment to let your spine settle into the mat there. Just take a few deep breaths. And then we're going to take our arms down by our sides, palms are facing up towards the ceiling. We're going to do some little floor angels here. So you're going to slide your arms out along the floor and up towards your head. Only take them as high as you can maintain your ribs down. So if your ribs lift, don't go quite as high. And then slowly bring the arms all the way back down. So again, move nice and slowly, don't go too quick with this movement. You want to feel what you feel. Just noticing and recognising any tension through the front of your chest, through your shoulders. Noticing if there's a point where the ribs want to lift. As your hands come down towards your hips this time, we're going to turn the arms out even more. So think about tipping your cup of water out again, getting your thumbs right down onto the floor. Let's have a soft elbow and lift your elbows just off the floor. So elbows are hovering but thumb is down. And again we're going to slide the thumbs along the floor and up towards your head. Again, don't go any higher than you can maintain that rib down position. And let's just do a few here. So thumbs just sliding along the floor. Elbows slightly lifted. And as your arms come down towards your hips this time, hold there. We're going to go into our crocodile now. Roll yourself onto your side, knees are bent, bottom arm out long, top arm resting on top of that. Now if you need a cushion or a block or something under your head, feel free to grab something. But actually it's a really good stretch for your neck if you are able to maintain this position without it creating any pain. Okay. So we're going to keep the pelvis super still, but we're going to rotate the upper body away. So as you inhale, reach that top arm forwards, reach that arm up towards the ceiling, and then start to twist your upper body away as you take that arm back behind you. Go as far as you can and just hold it there. Make sure you've not gone too far. You still want to be able to breathe. You still want to be able to speak. Shouldn't be painful, but it's okay if it feels stretchy. And then when you're ready, start to slowly bring that arm all the way back up and over. Let's do that again, reaching that top arm forwards, up and back. When you've gone to as far as you can, just hold for a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, just come all the way back. Let's do one more time on this side. And when you're ready, closing your crocodile there. Roll onto your back and then onto the other side. Again, set yourself up, bottom arm out long, top arm on top, knees bent. When you're ready, go again, inhale, reach the arm forwards, reach it up towards the ceiling and then take that arm back, allowing your upper body to twist, lower body stays still. Take it as far as you can, just hold for a couple of breaths. Is it different on this side? Just notice. Ready, slowly bring that arm all the way back up and over. Now if you feel really tight through your lower back, you can always grab a cushion or a block and pop it under your knees. Out. Hold in. When you're ready, come back. We're going to do one more time. When you're ready, all the way up and close that crocodile mouth.
Roll yourself onto your back, nice and slow. Bring your knees into your chest, take hold of your knees and just rock gently side to side. Lowering your feet down onto the floor, bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees roll out to the sides into your cobbler stretch. Take your arms up towards the ceiling, interlace your fingers and press your palms to the ceiling to stretch. Again, pull your thumbs as far away from your fingers as you can. Take your arms overhead. Keep pressing into your hands. Let your arms come down towards the floor again, as far as you can without the ribs lifting. Don't want to be arching your back. When you're ready, slowly bring your hands back to the ceiling. Bring your fingers apart, give your fingers a good stretch, get as much space between your fingers as you can. And then circle your wrists around. Reverse, go the other way. And then gently pulling each finger in turn back to stretch out your fingers. When you've done them all, just give them a little wriggle again. Bringing your knees back in towards each other. We're going to come up to seated. Take your time, but come on up to seated. Alright. Once you're here, you're just going to gently turn your head side to side. Super gentle. As you're coming through centre, let's drop one ear down towards the shoulder. Shoulders stay down, head tilts to one side, just hold. Head comes up and over to the other side, just hold. Just tilt your head a couple more times to each side. And you're all done. So I hope that feels really nice. I hope you feel like you've moved some bits that you haven't moved for a little while. Thank you.